Welcome to Chapter 3, the final stage of our storytelling journey. In the first module, we learned why storytelling matters. In the second, we learned how to craft a story. Now we focus on practice and growth, how to use storytelling in real situations, how to avoid common mistakes, and how to thrive as a storyteller in the long run. This is where your story becomes not just a skill, but part of your identity. Storytelling is not theory. It's practice. You'll use it in interviews, when you want to prove your value, in team projects, when you need to motivate or align people, and in leadership, when you want to inspire action. The more you practice telling small, clear stories in everyday situations, the more confident and natural it becomes. Storytelling should not feel like a performance. It should feel like part of who you are. Digital platforms are powerful storytelling tools. On LinkedIn, your bio and posts can tell a story of growth and purpose. On social media, you can share lessons from your journey or moments that show your values. If you have a personal website or portfolio, the About Me page is your chance to tell your professional story in your own voice. Remember, online storytelling isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent and authentic. Storytelling is not just about self-promotion, it's about influence. A good story can inspire others to take action, whether that's joining a project, supporting an idea, or believing in a cause. Stories also build trust. People are more likely to trust you when they understand your journey and your values. And stories create shared meaning. They connect people around a common goal or vision. Influence doesn't come from authority alone. It comes from stories that resonate. Great storytellers don't just tell their own story, they create space for others. Inclusivity in storytelling means recognizing that everyone has a story worth hearing. It's about sharing the stage, inviting others to speak, and amplifying voices that are often unheard. When you use storytelling to include others, you not only strengthen the ecosystem around you, you also become a leader who inspires trust and loyalty. Let's be real. Not all stories work. There are common pitfalls to avoid. First, oversharing, giving too much personal information that isn't relevant to the context. Second, making stories too long. People lose interest if you don't get to the point. And third, forgetting the lesson. A story without a clear takeaway can confuse people. Every story should be concise, meaningful, and tied to the point you want to make. Storytelling is like a muscle. It grows with use. One way to practice is to journal or blog about your experiences, turning everyday events into short narratives. Another way is to practice telling stories to friends or mentors and ask for feedback. Did the story feel clear? Was it engaging? Did they understand the lesson? The more you practice, the more natural it will become, until storytelling is just part of how you communicate every day. To thrive as a storyteller, align your stories with your values. Don't just say what you think people want to hear. Share what truly matters to you. Be consistent across contexts. The story you tell online should reflect the same person you are in person. And finally, inspire others to share their own stories. When you help others find their voice, you become more than a storyteller. You become a catalyst for connection and growth. As we close, reflect on your own practice. Where will you tell your story next? In an interview, in a conversation, or online? What one story do you need to prepare? Maybe about your values, a challenge, or a success. And how can you practice this week, even in a small way? Thriving as a storyteller is about consistency. One story told today can open doors tomorrow. To grow further, here are 3 resources. The book, Made to Stick, explains why some stories and ideas are unforgettable. The podcast, Lead to Win, often explores how storytelling strengthens leadership. And Nancy Duarte's YouTube talk reveals the secret structures behind powerful presentations. Each of these will help you refine your storytelling and thrive long-term. Well done! This was Chapter 3 of Personal Storytelling. Do not forget to scan the QR code to visit the Youth Living Labs Academy and get access to the full training material. See you next time.